My name is Lisa Dennis, and I'm a training specialist with EBSCO. Today, we are hosting a session specifically and exclusively for Nevada State Library and Archives, and the session is on public library resources. Thank you all for logging in and joining this webinar, or watch after that, since we are recording this session. So that I'm going to go through, and then we'll jump right into the interface. To review the EBSCOhost interface that's used for public libraries, and we'll discuss some of the search strategies, some of the maybe the differences that public librarians face with their friends, some of the research questions and reference questions they get, etc. We're going to learn about folders and how patrons can save their articles, images, anything that they find in any of the EBSCO resources to which your institution or subscribes to. And they can actually put those in those folders and save them indefinitely. We'll also introduce search alerts and general alerts. We won't have time to actually go in and demonstrate how they're created. There's always help available, and I'll actually show you what a search alert looks like when it comes into your email. Of course, there's lots and lots of support available. There's support available within their space. There's links to our support site. There's tech support. You can reach out and call a tech support folks in Ipswich, Massachusetts. You can email them, etc. Not just in your own at Nevada State Library. And so I'm going to take a quick peek at some of the promotional items and materials that are available, so you can evangelize and market these resources to your patrons in your specific library. And of course, since you registered for this session, you have seen all the other sessions that we set up for Nevada State Library and librarians and staff. So we've got lots and lots of different webinars planned, and so we'll review those as well. And those who are attending this session live, I do encourage questions through sessions. Feel free to jump in at any time and send me a message via that chat icon, and I'll be sure to answer that time. That I've created training on EBSCOhost. EBSCOhost is the interface. We'll view the databases Nevada State Library and Archive subscribes. So these are 5 steps, and they are really all you need to remember, because alerts and folders are something extra. Users and your patrons do not need to utilize folder alerts for experience, but it certainly optimizes their search experience and enhances it. So that's why I like to show this, because I think once you get your patrons used to using the resources, then they'll benefit from those additional tools. We're going to go, this is something that we actually reviewed a little bit in the agenda. We're going to talk about search strategy. We're going to think about how users structure search, how they can use these or keywords or actually subject headings. Once a list is presented, you're paying all of the facets, limiters, filters, expanders, etc. that are found on the left-hand side of the page, and be able to narrow their results down to a manageable list. And we look at a few of those results. We'll look at HTML articles and PDF articles. We'll look at the differences between, and we'll also look at the tools that are available once a patron accesses an article. They can print and email, add items to their folder, cite the article, etc. And then we'll talk about the alerts. Lots of tutorials available. These are great for any of your visual users, and they're not limited to librarians. These are great to post on your own library website. You can just copy paste the link to the tutorials and put them on your own library website. And you're busy and don't have time to actually stop and and have one-on-one with a patron, then you can always direct them to those tutorials. And again, they're quick, they're 3 to 5 minutes, they give a great review, and they're just perfect for visual learners. And for those folks that aren't visual learners, we've got help sheets that are input in the help center within the interface. So they go to the help center, research topic, and then be presented with step-by-step instructions, including screenshots. I'll do one of those during today's session. And the links, and no need to jot any of this down. It'll be in the recording, obviously, but this is all found with that help center within interface. So find links to the support site, email address, phone number of operation. Today's session, there'll be a brief evaluation that pops up in a separate window for you. For you who are joining this live, you can find the evaluation in your browser. For those of you who are going to be viewing this after the fact and viewing the recording, if you don't mind taking a few moments and jotting that all down and accessing it after the fact, I'd be most appreciative. With that, I'm going to jump right into the interface. And I'm going to share my desktop out. Now, we're live on the session. Take up and locate that green tab at the top of your screen, and that's where you can access that little chat box. So it's throughout the session. Be sure to type me, and I will take them and respond right away. And I'm actually going to put the chat box up so I can see it. Now, individuaries can change their interface if they'd like. Actually brand your own library. But I'm going in through the Nevada State Library site, and this is the selection to view, or this is the interface to view peer-reviewed newspapers, etc. So you'll see all the resources to a state library subscribe, along with a brief description. Business database, educational databases, you can have bases. Here's a newspaper database. Is a wonderful resource for librarians and for anybody who's doing any postgraduate work. It's got a lot of educational resources. We use another business database, and EOREF, which is a resource that was provided through the American Geological Institute, an index database. So you full text articles in there, but it'll simply indexes and abstracts for all articles that are on there, and then you can use interlibrary love or some resources your institution might have to find those full text articles. It alerts you to some great articles that are found in Geo. And you've got a process, which is any new articles being added to the base. You also have a consumer medication information guide, and I try to refer to this like the PDR, but it does have a great, it does carry a lot of great patient drug information. It is available in Spanish, so I want to let you know about it. And we've got some ag databases as well, which is a resource that's quite a bit in the public library. So you've got a nice collection. These descriptions, So, sees all of these resources. They can select, depending upon the keyword that they're searching, they can select some of the or databases that they might use in research. So, let me select those. Let's select newspapers. And news, there's my regional news. And main file. Okay? And we'll continue. 3 resources are going to now be loaded up into my host interface. And able to view all of the resources or databases that I'm searching when I go all. So you'll have 3 resources that I selected. And that is found right here, search box. So here. Navigate our way around the interface itself. Here on the left-hand side will be obviously a way to create a new search when you'd like to start over. To browse patients within different databases, I can do that. And very popular if somebody would like to find, for instance, a specific article that had been published in USA Today or the Washington Post. Like a company profile. Under more, I'll see a dictionary. By the way, what you see over here on the left-hand side is driven by the databases that you're searching. Point that out and say this again. These things we're looking here are then, I'm sorry, drawing well with the tool pen, are then by these resources. So if I show different resources that I'd like to search, I'm my company profile. And only see the publications loaded in the interface. Okay? So remember that this blue here can change the specific interface. Okay? So these are definitely related. Okay? Now here on the right-hand side, this remains static. Okay, the only difference that you'll see on this side is I sign into a My EBSCOhost folder. I'll have something that actually says sign out. I'll actually have here. And again, we're going to talk about folders a little bit later. But references, they don't have a My EBSCOhost folder. They can set preferences for each section. So they can customize the way they want their interface to act, look, and feel. Okay. So for instance, the most popular preferences is I like just 10 results on the page. I like to see 50. So go ahead and change that right here. Maybe I know I'm going to be doing some research, and I know that I'm used to using NSLA citation format. So I'm going to print or email any citations. I'll go ahead and put them in the format that I'm used to. And decide that I need to email something to myself so I can read later. I go ahead and email address, so I don't have to type it every time I want to email something to myself. And even just a from, we don't want to go into my spam filter. So lots and lots of preferences they can make. Save those. I'm a non-native English speaker, and I'd like to translate the interface into 28 other languages. I can do so right here. Do the new features that EBSCO is offering right here. Here's the center. And I can click here. So, now that we're on the top of the interface, let's look down here below. You'll see a search box. So, you'll see that every EBSCOhost interface always have a search box. And remember, I can click Show All to see all of the databases that I'm searching. By default, in Public Library, it's always going to default the base search page. Now, the basic search page. The library has opted to show the search options that are available. But a new user who might be very intimidated by using the resources, you actually search options at the interface page look like this. So everybody feels very comfortable in searching Google, right? Even if somebody says, oh, I can't search a research database, I don't know how. If I ask them, well, do you know how to Google? They say, oh, sure, I know how to Google. Then I tell them, well, then you can use an resource because EBSCO looked as easy as using Google. So a very Google-like interface. Search options are always available. They're addressed. I'm going to do a couple of searches, and I'm going to show you for keyword with those search options suppressed. So users not going to be utilizing those. Then we'll come back and we'll perform another search where we ask you to use the search options. Okay. So the first search I'll just create, and remember, I can always show all of those databases: newspaper, regional, business, news, and main file. If I'm going to search for humpback whale, I do a search for humpback whale. Oops, say that again, because remember, I'm a brand user and I've never used an online source. But I learn more about humpback whale. I'll search. Results come up. You have 5,700 results. So those are always going to be bolded at the top of the center screen or the center column. You have two columns. If there's nothing present on the right-hand side, that's where your widgets are. So the right-hand column, you always see the results right here, right to the top. 700 articles. That's a lot of articles to have to look through. And remember, I just did a keyword search. Now maybe I'd like to stay down. Well, I just want to find full text articles, so I'll turn full text limiter on. And only want articles that were published in the last years. Adding it down a little bit, I'm down to 3,500 articles. That's still too many for me to write. So what here is I'm going to see facets, and to expand these different facets. So and you'll right up here, clusters, all right, and they're clusters or groupings. Addition that you can use to narrow down your results. So all the different sources that are available to me. Wow, 1,700 of them come from news articles. I've got an academic journal. I've got 15 journals. I just want to narrow them down to magazines. So magazines. And I'll go over here, and I could then by publication. Some of the publications that are available within EBSCO graphics, one of my favorites. Or I'm more interested in sort by the subject. So in whale behavior. So there's 4 articles. Just like that, I have 4 articles that talk about humpback whales. They're full text. Dates within the last 8 years. They come from magazine, and one of the 6 articles are about whale behavior. See how easy it was to use those facets and narrow down our results. We put out over 5,000 articles. Then all of your search filters are found right here in what we call a bread box. If I like to take any of these limiters or filters and expand my search again, then I can click the X and expand my search. If well, you know what? Maybe I don't really want that. And it else is available. You can look at academic journals or newspaper articles. And you'll see a lot of newspaper articles because they're published every day. And they do include radio and TV transcripts. So we see print articles, but you actually see like from Good News. So if I use HTML full text, I'm going to the interview. So the article provides 2 features that aren't found in PDFs. One is if I can translate the article into 3 additional languages and translate the written article. So if I want to translate something to about that, just wait just a second. It should just translate it. Sometimes I will kick. Let's try that. Shouldn't matter which language. I'm trying to. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's almost there. So there we go. That was a little bit quicker. So their article is now read in French. HTML allows users the opportunity to have it automatically or audibly read back to them. So for accents and different that are available, but I can specify a sentence, paragraph, even a word, or don't hyperlink. The tool will start from the very beginning of the article. Download this. It's kind of small, so I'm going to circle up the download button. I can download this article to a 3 file and then take it on the go with me. So great. Over here on the right-hand side of the screen, you have tools that are available. If I wanted to read these articles, if I wanted to read them, like I don't have time now, I could either print it print out at the library, take it with me, email it to myself, and when I set preferences, here's the NSLA citation format, here's my email address that I put in. I have to read information every time I click on the email button. I do a storage device. I can cite the article, the most popular tool we have. It's able to be cited in 7 different languages. I out using a number of graphic management software tools. I note and allows a user to annotate an article for any reason. And I've got so I can learning a persistent link to the article right out on a number of sites. The EBSCO tools that are available. I said I really didn't talk about the folder feature. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. Let's go back now. Now we've done a search. We've conducted a search where we input a keyword. We sent a keyword. We didn't narrow to anything else. We just found once a result came up. So now I start a new search over. And notice I didn't click the new search link. I clicked EBSCOhost logo. So you can create a new search by clicking the EBSCOhost logo or new search button at the top. I've got my search available to me, so I can actually put some filters on my search before I run it. So now I want to search for stills. Say I like to actually related words. I only want full text articles, so I don't want to have to put that limit after I search. I articles that were published in the last 2, so I can just put in a year and it'll automatically search from January of 2012 or specify a month. And put anything into my forward field, it'll automatically search the present. I can want scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Then there are special limiters for the different data that you're searching. So next, what happens when I conduct my search? I get 500, almost 2,600 articles, but can you imagine if I wouldn't have put all these limiters and filters on? But I did put expander on because I did ask EBSCO to apply related words. How much would happen if I took that expander off? It didn't make any difference at all. Usually we'll lower the result list a little bit. In this case, I did 5,000 articles like I did with my Humpback Whale search. I have 100 academic articles here. Okay, so remember, academic and peer reviewed aren't the same. And I can really narrow down again by publication, or I can come down and say, well, what do I really want to think about? What am I searching for? What do I want my article to focus on regarding stem cells? So, budget headings. Notice that by default, the stem cells come top of the list because this is sorted by hit count. So, find that 400 articles have stem cells as an actual or subject. I can always sort this in order. There we go. Now, if I knew that I was searching for maybe cancer stem cells, I scroll down to see the alphabet and all the different cancer invasiveness, cancer stem cells, carcinogenics, browse by that way as well, and see the corresponding articles, the number of articles. So if I this is something about stem cells and cell differentiation, click on that. And quickly into 130. So when browsing the articles, if you don't have time to open them all, over the right side, we've got this preview pane that actually allows you pretty cool. You can still read the abstract. Gives you a little information about the article. So you get an idea of the article is going to be to you. You'll see that the subject are so that's a patient of what the article is, and you'll notice that we saw stem cell and differentiation in all of those subjects. And go ahead and open up an article. I click on the title, and that will give you the detailed record. Here's what we just talked about a little bit ago. And PDF. So the detailed record is a great place to show your users if difficult or struggling with finding some similar by browsing through the subject heading detailed record. They find additional resources. They, oh, I hadn't thought about searching for molecule or fat cells or cellular signal transduction. Oh, related to this. So I just click on one of these settings and start a brand new search if they'd like. On this search tab, pick my result list and show you. If you click title and directly to the HTML full text, here's a picture about PDF. Adobe Reader, so you'll see that you'll have all your Adobe Reader tools down here. Just remember you're going to want to use your print from Adobe Reader if you the article. Over right, you can see it just hang the side of the page. You can see all of your tools. But over the left, am I looking at this article, which was published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, which we see right up here. It's the 2014 issue, so it was just last month. I have the entire issue at my fingertips. Is the entire table of contents right here. I've read this article and browsed through here, just think about you standing in front of, standing in the library, thumbing through this journal. I could look, let me look at this article. This on, come on. There we go. The reliability and predictability of a biomarker. And scroll to the full title of an article. I just my mouse. I'll be able to type. These have a really cool feature as well, because you can see the higher issue. I can illustrations. I can actually even go browse another volume, another issue, and search tools will find features that are found in Adobe Reader. I can type in a keyword, and let's see what I got away from my stem cell research. I was like, why didn't I find any stem cell articles or find anything related to stem cell? Remember, I went on my stem cell or search, and I'm looking at some search articles. But I'm going to show you something, and then I'm going to show you always get back to your original article searching. So let's see. I'm just going to word stroke. Every instance where the keyword stroke is found, and I can click in the sentence structure and over here in the article. Great way to very lengthy article and the keywords or phrases that you're searching. Now, if I can't remember the article that I was looking at originally that brought us to this publication, all I do is go back to my result list. And then here are all those articles on stem cell before. Back to that original on that same thing. So all I have to do is go back to my result list, and then I can stem cell, and I see all of the instances where stem cell was. It's all showing me where it was found in metadata record. Really great way to look in a lengthy article, and it gives you the sentence structure so you can actually see in what context that keyword is being used. Two different ways that you actually can search over facets, and we've talked about how you can narrow the result down to a manageable level. We've got the diffs that are available. We talked about the bread box. I'll talk a little bit about folders and alerts. If I save an article in this session, all right, I just email it or print it. I'm doing some research on stem cells and stem-driven cancers, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and create a folder so I can save all of my research. I don't have to take the time to print or email it out. And always get to my folder anytime that I can access the EBSCO resources in the library. So I'll do is come here to sign in and look account. I'm going to go here there to create a new account. There's my and that's a folder created now. So anytime I log into the Nevada State Library Archives, I always folder and say any articles that I want and I find through any of the Nevada State Library and Archives resources. So I'm back, and now the created, you'll see a little there here, and it's where I told you it changed a little bit. Here's a little file, and you'll see up here it's got my name. Now all I have to do, without even reading the article, I click on this little folder icon that's got the plus sign, and put these articles in my folder, into my folder. And back up and look at my folder. I see these 4 articles. Folder kind of like an email account, and I like to have a lot of things in what I call just my inbox in my articles folder. So I actually create a new custom folder, just like you do your email, create a personalized folder to put different subjected articles in email. So I'm going to call this article STEM. I'm sorry, this folder. So there you'll see right there, created this little stem cells. And now I'm just going to go put all those folders into my stem cell folder. So now to add any articles that really I research on stem cells, then I can just put it in here, and I can sign back in. Those 4 articles will always be there. Go back and conduct a search quickly. Everything I'm going to show you publication, and then I'm going to show you the help, and I'll actually illustrate what journal alerts and search alerts look like. So for a particular publication, I just go to tab, select a database. Down here below in the second search box, I type in, maybe I'm not sure what might be available or else might be available. So I'll put in a keyword and actually search by subject. And oh wow, organic gardening. Great article. That's a great for look natural life or some of I can with that record I can see every volume we have about beautiful, or every article in House Beautiful, I should say, back to 1999. That text back to 1999 and the bibliographic records back to 1985. So this is a great way to show value to your patrons that you have some of those magazines that they might want to read in the library. So now to publication and folders, about alerts. And that I started out with the folder feature is you have to have a permanent folder and create journal alerts. So I'm just going to repeat that. You have a patron has to create a permanent folder or a My EBSCOhost folder, just like I did here. Creation journal alerts. Find more information over here in the Help Center. Open up the Help Center. It's going to open a new window. Link to report site that I promised. Here's a link to some of those tutorials that I mentioned, our number, email, etc. And then over here on the left-hand side, you've got a link table of contents. And go down here and learn how to create a personal account. Here's that sheet. I can scroll down and look at how to create set folder and search alerts are available too right here. Basically, what journal alerts and search alerts are is they alert a patron when magazine, journal, newspaper that might be interested in, then downloaded to the EBSCO resource, and it's available for viewing. That's what a journal alert is. So a perfect example of a journal alert that I got just a few days ago on Sports Illustrated. So I subscribed to Sports Illustrated through a journal alert, and it's a database that I access at Sports Illustrated. Here's every article that's in that issue of Sports Illustrated. Browse through these articles, and I can think on every single one and go directly to the article. Several journal alerts up. I've got one for Sports Illustrated. I've got one for Nature, Library Journal, History, etc. And this search alert takes it one step further, and instead of providing the user link to a journal, it provides the user to link search. So maybe I was doing some long-term on myocardial infarction. What I did is I went in and I said, I want the EBSCO resources databases, so the user with our databases, and I gave it a number of keywords, and actually didn't put into the thesaurus terms. So I'm specific with my search alert. And I want the EBSCO to bring back in articles on infarction, and I looked at all these other terms and every week and the new articles that have been published or downloaded, not necessarily published, but downloaded into the EBSCO resources, and then send it to me in an email. So this is for anybody who's doing long-term research on a particular subject. Instead of going to the library every day or a couple of days to see if any new articles have been downloaded, they can set up a search alert and they're very specific with the results. So here's all that I create on stem cell and Parkinson's disease, not restless leg syndrome. So every time a new article comes that meets that particular area, then receive an email. It's really great time saver. But remember, users don't have to create, don't have search and journal alert into search resources. Make it a step further. Then they create a folder and then take advantage of search or journal alerts. Let or alert them. Alerts to alert them when that particular article or journal is able to read. Okay, so we conducted a few different searches, and again, I'd encourage you as you look at these search options and show these to your patrons, you'll know that you can even search by publication. So I wanted to search for I'm going to look specifically how that's beautiful. And I'm going to search for landscape. So search the keyword for landscape. navigate specifically in Helpful, and we want to pull back those full text articles. 64 articles published in House Beautiful that top landscape, and even sort them and find the most published article. There was a article in the May 2013 issue talks about landscapes. So we'll really start playing around with the search strategies and the different options that are available. The limit to what your patrons can do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to that support site, and I'm going to go down back to my Help Center. A link is found on the bottom of every single EBSCO page, and click on that. There we go. So it's a little slow today. Our support center. Right in the navigational toolbar, you'll see a link on Promotional Tools. So now that you know these wonderful things about what you can do with the EBSCO resources, how you can use those different databases, start getting, brand getting researcher, and to somebody who might be a little bit more savvy with their skills, you can use all those different search strategies. How do you market all this? Well, you can go here to Promotional Tools and look at by database and market the resources that are available here. So if you search database, I can find it. I can also search by interface. So I here and look at EBSCOhost, and I can see the bookmark that's for a public library. And here's and posters. So you download those. You can actually customize them and print them up and put them in your library. I encourage you have time to take a look at the Promotional Tools page. Remember, you just get to it from the support on side in the center of the support side. That I talked about at the very beginning of the session. This is one that I created for Robbie LaBeouf at the State Library, and that we're promoting for session. So obviously, here today at the Public Library session. Then we've got another session on health resources, business resources, academic resources. So I'd encourage you, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about those subject-specific resources, to one of those meaning webinars, trying to conveniently offer the Thursday of every month. And we've got them running all through. And we are going to record every session. So I will record the next public library session, unless something dramatically changes with the EBSCOhost interface. But I will be recording the first of each next session, health, business, and academic. So I haven't seen any questions come in, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue sharing the desktop. And there we are. Just want to make sure that our participant Kitty, and if you have any questions at all about I want you so much for joining me for the session today. If you do have a few minutes to complete the evaluation, I'd be appreciative. And I tell you what, do me a favor, since obviously you can't see since you're muted. Can you just click on the green check box or the red X? Did you learn something new today? Well, that makes me feel good, especially since you didn't have any questions. Just knowing that you picked up some new tips and tricks, and they'll be interesting and exciting enough that you'll share them with your colleagues and members, and maybe encourage some of yours to view this recording when it's available. And I'll see you on some of the other EBSCO webinars that we're doing exclusively for the Nevada State Library and Archive. So thank you for joining me today. And if you have any questions at all, you can contact me through the email received. You can also contact the state contact, Robbie. And don't forget those valuable help. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a wonderful weekend. We're getting close to it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.